Hello dear viewers, welcome to the Conflict Zone YouTube channel. Today brings a slew of intriguing news. Firstly, the Russian armed forces encountered a significant setback with the loss of an A-50 airborne early warning and control aircraft. Remarkably, this marks the second F-50 aircraft lost by the Russians in just over the last 2 months. To provide context, the radar on this aircraft enables Russians to detect virtually any object within a 100-kilometer radius. These were crucial assets for establishing local air superiority, and the Russians possessed only a handful of such groundbreaking technologies. Presently, the number of F-50 aircraft in the Russian arsenal has dwindled to 7, and at the current rate of losses, they are poised to exhaust this fleet in just half a year. Compounding the situation is the fact that Russians face substantial challenges in producing new F-50 aircraft due to sanctions. The incident unfolded near the Sea of Azov, adding an interesting twist, as it was the same location where the last A-50 was downed. Ukrainian forces had significantly undermined Russian detection and surveillance capabilities in Crimea through a series of extensive strikes in January, leading to the destruction of multiple radar stations. In an effort to compensate for this radar deficiency, Russians deployed A-50 to secure the skies. However, the aircraft ventured within the range of the Patriot air defense system and was promptly intercepted. Notably, the Russian aircraft was intercepted more than 250 kilometers away from the front line, surpassing the 150 kilometers range of Patriot systems. This development has sparked numerous questions and speculations surrounding the enigmatic interception. During the incident, Russian sources indicate that the Russian air defense system was preoccupied intercepting 2 missiles launched by Ukrainians from the Neo area. The trajectories of these missiles and the F-50 aircraft were in close proximity, leading to confusion among Russian air defense operators who allegedly mistook the F-50 for another missile and subsequently shot it down. Proponents of this version claim that such instances have occurred in the past within the Russian air defense system. However, critics argue that considering the substantial size and speed of the massive F-50 aircraft, it's implausible to mistake it for a missile. They highlight that the F-50 functions as a flying radar, providing information to air defense operators. Additionally, the aircraft had just taken off, steadily gaining speed and altitude while moving away from Russia, not towards it. Critics cast doubt on the friendly fire explanation for all 6 aircraft losses in the last 2 months, pointing out that 75% of Russian aircraft losses over the 2-year war were reported as friendly fire accidents. Speculation from critics suggests that sabotage groups equipped with man-portable air defense systems operating in the Russian Federation might have been responsible for shooting down the aircraft. Ukrainian sources, on the other hand, assert that the interception of the A-50 aircraft resulted from a successful operation conducted by the Ukrainian Air Force and Special Forces, utilizing modified S-200 air defense systems for identification and destruction of the target. Despite the fact that the S-200 missile originated in the Soviet Union, Ukrainians have purportedly modernized it to the extent that the only shared feature with its older counterparts is the basic structure. Whether the friendly fire explanation or the sabotage theory is accurate, the loss of the rare F-50 aircraft is anticipated to temporarily alleviate bombardments on the front. The A-50, capable of tracking up to 60 targets simultaneously, offered significant protection for Russian fighter bombers, shielding them from potential retaliation by the Ukrainian air defense. Russian forces asserted and maintained local air superiority most effectively in the direction of Avdiivka, dropping up to 60 bombs per day during the peak intensity of the battle for Avdiivka. Despite a significant decrease in bomb usage after the loss of 5 fighter bombers by the Russians, the bombardments did not entirely cease. As mentioned earlier, the next main Ukrainian defense line is situated north of the small river, creating ambiguity over whether Ukrainians would attempt to retain control over the 4 small villages south of this river or withdraw to the prepared defense. Today, it became evident that Ukrainians plan to gradually withdraw to the main defense line. The fighters reported that the tall residential buildings in the southern part of Avdiivka and the substantial infrastructure on the territory of the chemical plant rendered Ukrainian positions in the immediate proximity untenable. This, combined with ongoing bombardments, compelled Ukrainians to withdraw from the first village in this area. Nevertheless, with the A-50 aircraft's loss, Russian fighter bombers faced heightened vulnerability, leading to a reduction in their activity in the region. The absence of bombardments enables Ukrainian forces to resist effectively in the current scenario, particularly from positions closer to the river. Recent geolocated combat footage reveals that Russian forces have lost multiple assault units in their endeavors to exploit recent events and destabilize the front line. Ukrainian fighters from the 3rd Assault Brigade demonstrated that Russians have begun utilizing mechanized assault units, albeit without success so far. Effective coordination with artillery crews empowered Ukrainians to repel the attack.